most legitimate agencies undergo. We recognize the value and the importance of having an external audit, but again, as we've talked about before over the past year to different groups, is the concern is, and the problem that we have to deal with is the one you just brought up. If we're looking at criminal investigations, how do you actually share that information? Well, there are a variety of ideas that are coming out of a lot of different places looking at to find out who we can use for that external audit. It just can't be opened up to anybody. It has to have somebody that has some background in terms of law, in terms of a writing, and there's a lot of good work and a lot of good ideas coming coming out from different areas.
Now, is there any reason, now currently under the interlocal agreement, it seems that the entity charged with overseeing or sort of being in charge of that external audit is the ARIC operational management team itself. Now, would there be any reason we can't have that shifted to the oversight responsibility of the Privacy Policy Advisory Committee?
Yes.
The problem is exactly what we just talked about, is you have to have the operational management team has to have oversight and control of that based on one of the things that Ms. Orr talked about. The change they did today was based on definitions of need to know, right to know. There are some legal requirements that are there that cannot be compromised, and a lot of that has to do with the things that we're concerned about. 28 CFR Part 23 goes to the heart of civil liberties and privacy concerns across the country. So we're looking at that particular issue. But if you're asking for an outside entity to set up an external auditing process, then we're not in a position to do that at this time.
Okay, but I mean, you guys do aggregated data reporting on a variety of issues, right, and statistics that are audited. I mean, just today,
I don't understand your question.
Well, like you gave us this chart right here, right? So this chart here aggregates information that you guys collect about work you're doing with respect to specific crimes and things like that. So I understand there are legal issues and sensitivity with respect to ongoing criminal investigations intelligence, but clearly if we can work on this, if there are ways in which police departments are currently able to report aggregated data in a way that's sensitive to private or secret information, there should be a way to do that with the external audit at ARIC.
That's in the plans, yeah.
Okay. I know there's a lot, and we don't have very much time left, and other people want to ask questions, so I'm just going to end with this issue. I noticed that there is currently in the interlocal agreement, and I haven't looked at the most recent draft of the privacy policy on this, but no process for appeal by individual citizens regarding incorrect information or records that may be held by ARIC.
I misspoke earlier. That was the one other area that we have added in our privacy policy from the last go-round to this go-round. There is a more thorough appeal process for people to go through.
Okay, so there is a discussion. So something was added in here? Okay.
And I apologize for not bringing it up earlier.
Now that it's added, I'll have a chance to review that later. Now, foundational concern, though, with anything like that is, how might you imagine a citizen would discover such an error in the first place?
That was part of the reason why there was no appeal process earlier.
So you're saying we added a process for which we still don't know how someone might discover a problem to appeal?
No,
Is that correct?
You're so smart.
Wow.
No, I'm
This is
being
ridiculous.
perfectly honest. Our main backbone for releasing public information is the Public Information Act. There are many safeguards associated in our state law that aid a citizen when there is false information, when there is information that can be handed out, and when there isn't. And frankly, that backbone is something that isn't anticipated by the federal government because the Freedom of Information Act is not nearly as stringent as our state law. So we felt like that was adequate to be the backup. From the input we've received from citizens and from the input we've received from the federal government, they felt that it wasn't fully necessary, so it has been added in.
What citizens?
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. That's all I have for today.
Commissioners, we have 1 minute by the clock there that I think is the official clock. There's another board or commission that follows us. What action do we want to take with so little time remaining?
I'm going to move that we recommend to the council that, to postpone any action pending exploitation of these auditing procedures, privacy committee, and the appeal process.
Framing, I believe I already made a motion.
Sorry.
I already made a motion. I had already made a motion.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My motion was that the council vote to move forward with the Fusion Center.
No,
This is absurd. This
No.
is ridiculous, Mr. Levy.
Ridiculous.
You're not representing the people.
Definitely not.
That's, and Randy, you're certainly in position to vote to amendment. That's my motion.
When was that made?
When was it made?
No, I was here.
I think I did hear Mike start to speak.
I made the motion.
Can I speak to?
Sure.
Yes, Commissioner Roscoe.
Well, I'm actually, if I had to vote, probably would support you, Commissioner Levy. Unless there's some downside, I think we should respect Commissioner Coe's request for more time. So, unless someone can suggest a specific downside to delay, it might be prudent for us.
Well, the only thing I know is I've heard that the council, it's up in front of the council before our next meeting. Is that correct?
Yes, but we could certainly recommend to council that we recommend a postpone.
That's right.
Lee, has the RCA been launched or not?
May 26th.
So what is the answer to the question?
I'm not sure I understand the question. The question is that
When you say something has been launched, what is?
I'm sorry, request for council action to basically, this is where the interlocal agreement for council to look at the interlocal agreement which is supplied and take action on that.
So that request is already there, right? And
Yes, it's been, yeah.
and what is any reason why we cannot postpone for another month for the council may want to postpone, or do they need to? Is this a no or no go on the part of the council?
This is basically, the commission can, make your recommendations as you see fit. This has been delayed for probably several months already, this whole process here. The only thing that we have to make sure is that the Austin Urban Area Working Group, chaired by the mayor of Round Rock, County Commissioners Courts of Travis County, Williamson County, and Hayes County, as well as the other entities there, we don't find ourselves in a bind regarding, performance measures on the grant. And I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. I can't provide you that information tonight. I don't know, Troy, do you have any information?
No.
Okay.
Well, the fact of the matter is, when that information does come forward, it will be available to the council. So why don't we consider a motion that says, without further